Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this hypnosis session, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session all about food and compulsions with food. And I was working with a client that had certain foods that they associated with their past, and they were linking it to things like freedom and support and connection. And in their mind, certain foods like cheese meant freedom. Now, obviously that's not true, but if the meaning is closely associated to a food, then it can feel that way, in the same way that some people might associate alcohol with fun or smoking with relaxation. People can certainly link certain feelings with food, and that can create these compulsions. So in this particular hypnosis session, there is a metaphor, levels of disassociation that use a forest, that start to disassociate from the old meanings and to introduce new meanings or alternatives that are linked to the same meanings to give them more choice and freedom. So for this particular client, it was things like wine and cheese and things like cakes and things like that, that was their association with positive emotions. I want you to think, what are your foods that you feel like you have strong connections and associations to that is leading you to eat more of that thing that perhaps isn't quite so good for your health? And then by thinking about that, when you listen to things like cheese and wine in this recording, you can just mentally replace them with whatever the equivalent is for you. And then that way you'll feel more benefit from this hypnosis session than if you just listened to what was recorded for that client. Obviously, it was created for an individual client. So if you do like the idea of a bespoke hypnosis session, I'm going to put 2 links connected to the description. One is for you to take a suitability test, and this is a 60-second test just for you to figure out if hypnotherapy is a suitable thing for you. And then also be a link for you to book a free consultation call. So if that appeals to you, check out the links in the description. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that slow, long, relaxing breath. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release, as if any tension, stress, and worries is being released in every outward breath, almost like a release valve. Sometimes people hold on to emotions. They build up. And I want you to get a sense that now is the time to release them. As you breathe in that feeling of resourceful relaxation and exhale any tension, any stress, any worries. So much so that each breath takes you deeper and deeper, relaxed. Now, and the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. With every breath, imagine breathing in clarity and just breathing out any tension, any frustrations. As you allow your body to settle. Settling into that warm, natural, comfortable place. As your body relaxes, your imagination is elevated. And I wonder if you could imagine a forest clearing. Blue skies and sunshine above the forest. But you're in the forest, seeing the sunshine like a beam of light into the clearing. And every now and then you see those beams of light finding gaps in the canopy above. And maybe you could imagine the sound of a breeze or even birdsong, enhancing this experience within your imagination. I want you to get a sense that for some reason, here in this forest, you feel slightly uncomfortable. Perhaps even hungry. But I want you to imagine there, perhaps near the clearing or deeper in the forest, I wonder if you could imagine seeing a wild berry bush, fresh, abundant, bursting with a particular fruit, a particular berry. Or maybe this berry bush, because it's in your imagination, offers you every different variety of berry. And as you reach out to pick a berry, I wonder if you can notice the colors, the texture. As you bring it up towards your mouth, notice the size. Imagine the density or pressure of the berry as you give it a squeeze. And then imagine tasting one. Maybe you could imagine an explosion of taste as your teeth burst open the berry. And as you taste it, imagine how good it would feel to feel that you're tasting the very essence of freedom. Something grown by nature, unprocessed. Perhaps what your body recognizes as good, nourishing, and pure. And as you breathe slower and deeper now, your unconscious mind can begin to remember what true support feels like. Not just in food, but in choices, in discernment, in trusting yourself to choose, not react. A compulsion, a craving, doesn't force you to do anything, just information, because the choice is yours and yours alone. And as you wander deeper into the forest now, imagine noticing something about yourself. You are not a tourist or a visitor in this forest. You are a forager, a seeker of nourishment, wisdom, and clarity, where every step you take is a decision. You can walk past some things and choose others. Perhaps you have a basket or a bag, and when something catches your eye, something that looks appealing, imagine picking or plucking, foraging for that food, placing it into that bag or that basket, realizing that you don't need everything. You don't even want everything. You just choose what supports you, what connects you, and what frees you. Just like in life. Because you don't need to consume something just because it's there. Locate somewhere within your body where you feel the resource of discernment. That place that knows the difference between an impulse and intuition. And that distinction, that difference, gives you power. In the same way that you can distinguish between a meaning and an association, you can also create the distinction between a compulsion and a mindful choice. Imagine going deeper into the forest now. And imagine discovering something strange in the forest. Imagine there, deep in the forest, a long wooden table. And on that table are items linked to your past. Maybe what you're seeing on the table is something that you can remember from your childhood. Glass of sparkling wine, or the kind of wine that people used to drink in your hometown under a tree. A particular variety of cheese. Maybe it's a plate of smoked meats, all different varieties. Or perhaps a slice of cheesecake. Each one has a connection and association. Maybe they also hold an emotion. But as you look closer, you realize the story is not the food. The story is you. Wine isn't connection. Connection is your attention, noticing smells, tastes, and sounds. And cheese isn't freedom. Choices are freedom. And these foods that used to feel like support, what if other foods would support your health and your identity much better? So now when you see those items on that long wooden table, you can thank them for their role in your past and your journey. You can honor the memories. But it is now time to reclaim the meanings. The meanings are what you give to them. And just because there was an association, it doesn't mean that that food or drink means that. It was just a link. And links can change. And you no longer need to consume the past to feel whole in the present. It's time to create new associations, stronger ones, wiser ones, intentional ones. Move those old foods to one end of the table and then decide to manifest new foods on the same table. Imagine the foods that represent a future of more connection, more support, more freedom. And perhaps you could imagine a bowl of wild berries, vibrant, nourishing, nutritious. Or perhaps a fillet of salmon in exactly the way that makes it most desirable. Maybe that would support your future better than those old foods of the past. Perhaps you could manage some spinach next to the salmon, and your intuition lets you know eating food like that will support you in the present and the future. I want you to see that spinach, the particular shade of green, and maybe there's things connected to it, a dressing of oil, crystals of salt, and maybe somewhere on that table are foraged foods like mushrooms, fruits picked from trees. What if these new foods aren't just nutritious? What if these are messengers, resources, that whenever you eat these foods, they make you feel freer, more connected, more supported. And the moment you decide it's true, then those old foods simply lose their appeal, because it was never about the food. What you were seeking was the meaning linked to them. And the moment that same meaning has a stronger connection to different foods, those new foods, healthy, nutritious, fresh and natural, become the more appealing for you. I want you to get a sense that you are already feeling freer, more connected, but more mindful. And it's time to start eating some of these foraged or found or fresh foods. Every bite of these foods reinforces your ability to choose wisely. And every time you prepare them, you are reminded there is no obligation. This is a choice. You are choosing to enjoy and experience these foods mindfully. And even if these foods were cooked, there is no obligation to eat more than you desire. You eat what you desire then in the moment, and any excess can either be saved for later or thrown away. It is not wasted if you choose to throw it away. That is discernment, high standards. You are the guardian as to what food passes your lips. And if you don't want it, you don't have it. Your fridge is not a graveyard. It's a pause button. Fresh food, refrigerated and sealed, can preserve all of that time, energy and emotion to create the meal and deploy it for later. Because some of the healthiest people on the planet, athletes, prepare their food before they eat it. Sometimes it's kept in those plastic containers, and sometimes it's frozen. That is their choice, that is their freedom to capture nutrients and deploy them for later. But let's imagine taking all of these changes, leaving the forest, and going to a place in your future. And I want you to imagine a big banquet, a celebration. And at that celebration, delicious cheeses, smoked meats, fine wines. But I want you to get a sense that these are options, not obligations. And instead of pressure, you feel ease, because you know how to choose. And you can choose to eat any of these foods, or maybe you prefer that salmon, that spinach, that fruit, that vegetable. The moment you have to do something, you lose your freedom. You get to choose what you eat, when you eat it, and how you eat it. But when your choices align with your values, then you are eating mindfully in an empowered way. You are enhancing your life now and in the future. Feel that sense of freedom to choose what you want in the banquet. And with every choice, you're writing a new story, creating new meanings, new connections. But notice the feeling of freedom and connection. It's time to leave this banquet. But you leave the banquet feeling empowered, with a desire to mindfully eat. Mindful eating is eating in a truly connected way. And if you're going to mindfully eat anything, why not mindfully eat those foods that have powerful, strong, positive connotations? It's time to leave this banquet. Find yourself back in the forest, and then decide to leave the forest, returning all the way back to the here and the now. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes, connect and calibrate into the here and the now, as I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.